Fifth gear first saw the light of day in 2002, and it's been going like a train ever since.
I love this.
In that time, hundreds of stories have been told about every conceivable type of car and how well they do their job, sometimes under the most extreme conditions. So the team thought it was time to put together some of our favourite items from over the years and group them in handy categories.
I don't want to come off the road.
This time we're looking at those clever cars that neatly combine practicality, performance and affordability. Hot hatches. We'll begin in 2004 with the most famous hot hatch of them all.
Fifth Gear's favourite hot hatch is the Honda Civic Type R. This is its big new rival, and I'm reporting for duty to see if it's any good. The Volkswagen Golf GTI. Unfortunately, it's heavier than the Civic. It's slower than the Civic, and at £20,000, it's £4,000 more than the Civic. So why oh why would you buy one?
Now, I love the Civic Type R's engine. So long as you're revving it, it's got to be driven hard. You've got to be above 6,500 revs to get the power from it, and then it's fantastic. But that's only my mad half hour. The rest of the time, you're not always in the mood to be scaring passers-by, revving the back out of it. And this is where the Golf is great. It's a turbocharged 2-litre engine. That basically means is you get much more power low down, so you don't have to be revving it all the time. Of course, if you do, it's still got loads of power, but even in third gear, fourth gear, at low revs, it's got plenty of poke.
But the thing that's impressed me most is the optional direct shift gearbox, or DSG. It's a beautiful system and definitely the future of changing gear.
Why on earth manufacturers like Ferrari and Aston Martin, who make these trick, fancy Formula One gearboxes, can't make something like this? It defies logic. It's a manual gearbox, but it's got 2 clutches. So the first, third and fifth have got a clutch on their own. Second, fourth and sixth have got a clutch on their own. So the gear you're going to go to is always engaged. And it makes for instantaneous, perfect, accurate gear changes up and down the gearbox. Just take a listen to this. We'll knock down to second. We'll give it some poke, and then I'll change up. It's just perfect. For me, this is the biggest step forward in gearbox technology I've ever driven. It is fabulous. DSG, what's it going to cost you? Well, £1,300. I think that's buttons when you consider what it does to the car. This car is quicker to 60 than your manual gearbox. So the DSG makes for quicker changes, gets you places faster. We like that.
To find out more, we dropped by Bernie Eccleston's state-of-the-art Paul Ricard circuit, which nestles in the south of France. Here, tyre walls and gravel traps have been replaced by high-grip paint, making it a blueprint for tracks of the future.
Now, I used to instruct at Paul Ricard, and it's a great little test track for cars. Particularly this section is there's a quick right-left. What we're doing, nearly 100 mile an hour here. One of the nicest parts about this new Golf GTI is the steering. Really nice weighting, get lots of feedback, car goes exactly where you want it to. And of course, driving road cars on circuits is not an ideal thing to do. You can always pick fault with them. But I have to say, I'm really enjoying this new Golf. It's not like the old one. The old one was a bit too safe, a bit too wallowy, a bit dull, dare I say. But this is altogether different. Really good fun.
I can't help feeling the Civic Type R is a bit friskier on a track and rewards the hooligan more. But you know what? Driving sideways isn't everything.
For me, buying cars is more than just about the drive. It's about living with it every single day. And I have to say, the Golf is a great place to be. The finish is fantastic, the fit, it's a place you want to be. And then there's the image. This is still the only hot hatch I'd take my girlfriend to a posh hotel in. But the big question is, should you buy one over the Civic Type R? You bet you should.
So back then, the GTI was still the hot hatch to beat. However, for those on a tighter budget, other slightly smaller options were available. In 2007, Tiff took two of his favourites to a track to find out which was the fastest. Q, a famous fifth-gear shootout.
The Suzuki Swift Sport is a real dark horse. With a 123 horsepower, 1.6-litre engine, it'll nudge 125 miles an hour and hit 60 in under 9 seconds. At 11.5 grand, it's outstanding value. But is it good enough to beat the iconic Mini Cooper? The Mini is £1,500 dearer than the Swift, and its 1.6-litre engine has a little less power and a little more torque. But the Mini is 85 kilos heavier and slightly slower to 60. The question is, will it prove faster when you throw in a few bends? Let the Suzuki set the pace.
Having tested it in the hills of southern Wales, I've got to say I've got a bit of a soft spot for this Suzuki Swift. I had a lot of fun driving it, and for under 12 grand, you've got 123 horsepower, a little hot hatch. It's got a great interior as well, I think, that is pleasing to the eye, and I love this integrated radio that's got a great steering wheel, good seats. Everything about it is, as its name says, sporty. Only a 5-speed gearbox, it has a worse fuel consumption than its more long-legged 6-speed opposition. But the gearbox itself is a joy to use, real snappy gear changes. And that's a bit of a play. Oh, yes. A little bit of lift-off oversteer available should you want it. Onto our long straight. Now, it's got a top speed claim of about 124 miles an hour. And yet I'm in 4th gear, 6,000 RPM, and it stopped accelerating at, what, 95? 4th gear through the gooseneck, one way, then the other. Oh, we've got a bit offline, a bit on the dirt. We won't do that on the fast lap. Oh, flick it. Yay! I reckon the Mini's going to struggle to beat this. Time to set the pace with the Suzuki Swift. Start the clocks. .95 miles an hour. Don't get too greedy on turn-in speed for the gooseneck. Clip the first curb. And that's good, that's good, that's good. We're floating a bit wide, but we're all right. Don't spin the inside wheel. Flat shift to second. One more. Flat shift to third up the hill.
The Swift crosses the line in 1 minute 21.75 seconds. Over to the Cooper.
Every time I get into a new Mini, or should I now say a new Mini, I always have a little chuckle on my face. I just love the funky interior. Okay, the speedometer maybe is getting a little bit on the large side nowadays, especially as it reflects sunlight badly. We've got a little less power than the Suzuki, we're a little bit heavier, but we've got a 6-speed gearbox and the legendary Mini handling. So statistically, it looks slower, but can the handling make up for the deficit around this track? Great flat chording. One of Mini's great highlights is this lack of body roll, great body control, torsional rigidity. Third through the left of the gooseneck. Can I be silly and make this Mini go Simon? No. Almost whatever you try and do, Scandinavian flicks, you can't get the back of a Mini out. The one thing I'm beginning to notice though about these 6 speeds is that the 4 that I'm using around the circuit are actually taller smaller than the 4 on the Suzuki, which is probably why this Mini's got such fantastic fuel consumption, but these longer gears aren't going to help me around the track. Up this hill to Charlie's in third, I feel like I'm almost going backwards. Oh Mini, you're going to have to handle brilliantly. It's a fight off the Japanese challenge. Right, let's start the time lap now. Come on, Mini. Full throttle, third gear, through Clark. Head down for the gooseneck. This is where I can surely make up time.
Shock of shocks, after just 2 testing corners, the Mini is half a second ahead. But by the hairpin, the lead is down to just 0.23 of a second. Will the drag up the hill be the Mini's downfall?
I can feel the finish line getting closer.
And the Mini Cooper hangs on to keep just 0.19 seconds ahead of the Swift Sport. Despite the Swift's power advantage, the Mini's superior handling wins the day.
Over the years, the power of hot hatches has gradually crept up. But in 2009, Ford decided to completely rewrite the rulebook.
It's a car without rival. A snarling, snorting, 300 brake horsepower freak of nature.
300 horsepower in a front-wheel drive hatch. It's a bull in a china shop. It's a bomb in a greenhouse. I once had a race car with a similar spec, and on anything other than a perfectly smooth circuit, it would rip your arms off. Frankly, it shouldn't work.
It costs £25,000 and looks like a rally stage refugee. Its 2.5-litre turbocharged engine gets it to, are you sitting down? A Porsche Cayman rivaling 163 miles an hour. Unbelievable.
Now, Ford have tried to tune this RS to be as docile as the Focus your mum would buy. And at low revs, it is. But considering it's got 440 Newton-meters of torque, it hardly rips your neck off until the turbo starts to spin, so it's got 2 sides to it. The side I like is this one. Right, give it a little flicky. Oh, she's a bit nervous on entry. That's not a bad thing, is it? It's just got this fluidity to the way it drives. You know, you're off the power, you turn in, you get it back on the power, and then after a little delay, off it goes again. If the revs are high, you've got this relentless feeling of power and grunt.
Despite that, acceleration isn't as blistering as you'd think. 0 to 62 takes 5.9 seconds, the same as a Subaru Impreza WRXS. But the Focus has one major advantage: the way it drives.
Now, you have to feel sorry for these fellas. Front tyres have got a lot on their plate, having to do all that steering, and start giving them a load of power to deal with as well, and they become a little overwhelmed. Think of them as men, hopeless at multitasking. So to help out, Ford have fitted a trick diff and some rather special suspension and drivetrain components, what you might call talented assistants, to help the men. The turbo lag actually works for you in this car because it dulls the engine just where you actually don't want too much power. So in other words, turn in, off the brakes, back on the power, then there's a delay. Meanwhile, you just stand a little bit further up the road, got a little bit less lock on, so torque steer in that situation feels less. The car's not jumping around the road like the old RS would be. It's bloody good, actually. One of my favourite parts of this car is the sound of the engine. Just listen to this.
The sound is nothing short of thrilling. Can you believe the Ford bosses tried to calm down the whistles and the pops? But thankfully, the engineers got their way. Good on them.
I'll tell you what, I've been driving this all day long up these fantastically challenging mountain roads, and I've had such a blast. This has got to be one of the best hot hatches in the world, if not the best. But do yourself a favour, buy it in blue.
After gasping at the power of the Ford, 5 years later, in 2014, hot hatches were getting quicker still, to the point where we wondered if they could start to challenge their racing counterparts.
For some fun and frenzied racing where competitive youngsters really hone their driving skills, there's only one place to look. Europe's most hectic one-make championship, the Clio Cup. It is one of the most hotly contested championships in the world, where every driver races a Renault Sport Clio to within an inch of its life. And for the first time in 7 years, the pocket rocket has been replaced. This is the Clio Cup race car, and it's based on this, the Clio Renault Sport 200. That costs £43,000, which is more than twice that of the road car, but you do get a whole host of racing goodies from motorsport's best designer labels. There are uprated brakes from AP that cost 3 times as much as the standard ones. Adjustable shock absorbers from ZF, which cost an extra £2,000. The road car has a paddle shift gearbox, but the race car's is a third quicker, with gear changes timed at 100 milliseconds. Finally, the 1.6-litre turbo engine has a remapped ECU, freeing up an extra 23 brake horsepower. Now, the hot hatch road car and its race car sister come from the same Renault Sport department, so it's an intriguing one. How much shared DNA is there? Well, we've got a cunning way to find out. We're going to see which is quickest around a lap, with a twist. The road car will be driven by pro racer Phil Glue, a former Clio Cup champion, and I will take the Cup car, a machine designed solely for track use. So I think we might be pretty evenly matched. I've got a racing car to help me boost my lap time. You've got years of racing talent to help you boost yours.
Yeah, I've got 20 years of race experience.
Whoa, stop there. I've been racing since I was 12 years old.
I've been racing since I was 8, but you're a bit older than me, so...
Surely you're only 10 years old.
Well, that should help me with the whole no fear factor.
I did a couple of Renault Clio races myself, so I'm, you know, adept at it.
I won the championship in 2009.
Should we make this official then with a bit of money?
I think it'd be rude not to.
Fiver?
Easiest money I've ever earned.
Phil will set a benchmark in the road car. I will do nothing but offer help and assistance. Go on then, big boy. Money where your mouth is. Do you want to put the handbrake off? Yeah. Good start. Stopwatch has started. Here we go. Are you feeling the pressure?
A little bit now, yeah. Now the watch is on.
Oh no, I don't like it. Just remind ourselves we're in a road-going car here, Phil.
I know, don't worry.
What's your favourite wildlife?
Squirrels?
Look over there, there's a lovely squirrel. He's got the best bushiest tail, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, look, you made me run a bit wide.
And over there, there's a naked lady, Phil.
Oh,
Look.
yes, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have braked there.
I need to brake
no.
later. ABS help me a little bit there. Here we go, the gooseneck. Get it all over this curve and the next.
Oh, Phil, we're going off. Oh, mamma mia. Thankfully, we're coming to the end. I do not like being a passenger.
What was it like?
1 minute, 49.7.
The car was awesome to drive. It's a bit softer, obviously, than the race car, so it handles this circuit quite well, so that might have given me an advantage.
My turn with a warm-up lap first. There's only one seat, so Phil will tie me from the pit wall.
Okay, here goes. 1 warm-up lap, 1 flyer, no cheating.
Good luck.
I'm on these slick racing tyres that need heat. If I can get heat in the tyres, they stick to the road.
Cadwell Park is an engaging 2.1-mile blend of fast corners, slow corners and elevation changes. Few circuits test as many aspects of a car's handling.
Okay, here we go, over the start finish line. The time will start now.
It's going to be tight, I think. It's going to be close.
Onto the brakes, down to 4th, off the brakes, turning in 4th gear. I've got no idea what speed I'm doing. I have to be really delicate
for it.
Brakes are beginning to knock up then. The only traction control system is me. Up over the mountain. Wind the lock as gently as possible whilst being fierce on the throttle. Through the twisty stuff. A right, a left, all in third gear.
It's going to be very close.
Oh, did I do it?
How was it?
It was, I was concentrating so much. Oh my word.
How close do you think you got? Which way do you think it went?
I reckon there might be a couple of seconds in it. So, Phil, you did a 1:49.7.
140.
That's good.
5.3. Can't believe it.
4.5 seconds.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
A little more power and a lot more grip gives me the win. But only one person takes the tenner.
To the victor, the spoils.
A year later, in 2015, we gathered together 4 of the hottest hatches around for one of our popular deathmatch items. But it would be a deathmatch with a difference. I'll let Tiff take up the story.
This Renault Sport Megane is the latest version of the car that's been our favourite hot hatch ever since it was launched back in 2010. But the question is it still the hottest hatch of all?
To find out, we're going to put it up against its 3 newest rivals. And for a change, we're not going to host it on our own.
No, we decided we needed some help. So I opened up my Filofax and phoned 2 of the most famous names in motorsport history. Nico Prost is the son of quadruple Formula 1 champion Alain, while Bruno Senna is the nephew of triple Formula 1 champion Ayrton. The Prost versus Senna rivalry of the 80s and 90s was legendary. And now Bruno and Nico also race wheel-to-wheel with each other and Karun in Formula E.
This is a chance for Bruno Senna to get past Nico Prost.
So we're expecting some hard-fought competition today. Prost and Senna.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
How are you?
See you.
How are you doing?
Bruno.
How are you?
Now, come on, Karun. I mean, you're a Formula 1 teammate with Senna. Is he even as fast as you?
We sort of race. Formula 1.5, I think we can call it.
No, that was Formula half. Not quite.
Because you haven't raced Formula 1, Nico, have you?
No, unfortunately, never raced.
But you tested Formula 1.
Yes, for Lotus for a long time.
Yeah. I've shared the Formula 3 grid with your father. He jumped the start, cheating fake as always. I was in Formula 3 with Bruno's uncle, but I didn't sort of see him at all. No, don't think so. That was my last ever Formula 3 race, Macau. It didn't go well. What about these cars? What's going to be fastest of these, do you think?
I'm betting on the French one.
You are. You're back in the Renault. Bruno, do you think, you know?
I have to say I'm betting on the French one as well.
Nico and Bruno clearly know their stuff. And this very latest version of the Megane, the Trophy R, is even more hardcore. But never discount the competition, because these latest rivals from Seat, Audi, and Volkswagen are more powerful and faster than ever. So we've decided to hold a hot hatch knockout tournament to discover which is now best. The first challenge is an auto test to check out each car's agility. The slowest car will drop out, and I've volunteered to kick things off with the cheapest car here, the Seat.
Right then, old man, are you ready?
You old man me. Nothing but trouble him.
3, 2, 1, go!
Wheel spin.
Didn't sound very good, did it?
Tiff is the master of the auto test. I think there's very few people on the planet better than him.
No, I haven't got much power in this Seat, but it's quite light.
That looks pretty good, actually.
You've got to get in the box, not in the wall, reverse. Obviously, my experience showed on the auto test. Come on. And...
Oh! I was a bit nervous about doing the backwards spin.
I was quite excited, you know, because I'm into hatchbacks. I have a hatchback at home, and I didn't know exactly which one would be fastest.
And rush to the finish line. Stop the clock. 33.6. That sounds fast enough to me. They look pretty good.
Let's not make fun before we drive.
Yeah. We could look like complete idiots, couldn't we?
Yeah.
The front-wheel drive Seat sets the benchmark with a 33.6. Next, the Golf. It's got 20 more horsepower than the Leon and permanent four-wheel drive, but is the heaviest car here.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh, through the slalom, not too bad. Get those arms moving.
Oh, that was nice and tight. That was tidy. That was tidy.
Into reverse.
An auto test, you need a car that's nimble and able to go through the slalom and sort of go around the roundabouts with flexibility, I suppose, to change directions.
Oh, come on, maximum steering lock.
And the Golf struggled a little bit with that.
I haven't got a handbrake to play with like Tiff did. Come on.
How was it?
34.22.
So the Golf's 6/10 slower than the cheaper, less powerful Leon.
Take it away. It's not good enough, Karun. It's not good enough. All right.
Up next is the Audi S3 with Senna behind the wheel.
I was not nervous about before it.
No, Brady, got the same power as the Golf four-wheel drive, but you're 50 kilograms lighter. 34.22 to stay in the competition. 3, 2, 1, go! That's mega quick!
It was actually surprisingly good on the corners.
Oh, good one, good one.
I thought that the four-wheel drive would just make it a bit funny to drive, but it was actually nice and easy to control.
Come on, Audi. Make me proud here. Now full power, full drive working a little bit, let's see. Yes, that was not bad.
33.18, but you knocked a Kono, which 1 second penalty, which means it's a 34.18, so he still beats
He's
you.
400s.
Yes!
So the Audi stays in the competition while the Seat still leads. But we've got high hopes for the Renault, especially with the son of a quadruple Formula One world champion behind the wheel.
The Renault looks a bit more aggressive. You know, it's maybe just the design and the stickers, but it looked more like a race car.
He's brought a race car. He's got a roll cage in it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go!
Nico's first attempt was, I don't know what the words are.
Nico launched into our cones and just wiped out the whole circuit. Oh, the gears!
To have the clutch and the manual gearbox is not so easy.
Oh my God! I think we might have to give him another go.
But on the other hand, the Renault had the best handbrake.
Oh, he's coming back,
Okay,
he's coming back, coming back.
Let's make sure we don't... Yes!
47.2.
Yeah, I know, I got a bit of trouble. We
Plus-
need some new cones. And
Plus
maybe a new...
1 second for cone number 2, another second for cone number 3, another second for cone number 4. You've destroyed my course, Nico.
In fairness, Nico's race car has a semi-automatic gearbox,
So, shall we fix the cones?
and he rarely drives right-hand drive cars. So with the boys having repaired my course, we sent him off again.
You could try to miss the cones, that would be beneficial.
You're not supposed to hit the cones.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. 3, 2, 1, go!
He went for the...
He's jump starting.
It looks good now, look.
He got better at it as he went along.
Faster, faster, faster. Flick.
Oh, nice, nice!
Yeah.
That's right, handbrake. Oh, he's fine! Good job!
Nico has to beat the Golf's 34.22 to stay in, and he gets a 34.20.
Just.
Nice job, my friend.
To be honest, I couldn't believe how close it was.
So the Seat wins the auto test with the Audi second and Renault third. But the heavy Golf is knocked out. It's got excellent power and traction, but lacks the agility we'd expect from a great hot hatch. The next challenge takes us to the first bend at Snetterton, where we'll be measuring cornering ability. Generally speaking, cars need to slow down for bends, but the less you have to slow down, the faster you'll be around the lap.
Test 2 was a really good one. I like this one. It's the minimum speed through a corner. It shows how fast you can deliver a car to the apex, because it's the most important thing in motor racing is the minimum speed in the corner. It's keeping the momentum going.
Each of our trio would get 3 attempts, and as we expected this test to be close, we'd fitted our hot hatches with a GPS performance box to eliminate the possibility of speedo error.
Despite winning the slalom, I had to hand my Seat over to Karun so I could do the speed watching.
The Leon Cupra will need excellent high-speed grip and stability to fend off the four-wheel drive Audi and lightweight Renault.
Karun, here we go, Richie's corner. You're up to 97, 90, 100 miles an hour.
You really approach at very high speed because you're coming down the straight.
90, 80, 81, 78, 77, 77, 77, 77, 77, 77.
I have to say that didn't look very impressive. I think Karun didn't push hard at all.
Yeah, we didn't hear the tires scream, so
No,
we can probably go a bit quicker.
Karun's second run is identical, so he's got one last chance to improve.
It doesn't feel particularly stable, but we'll have a go. Now, the back of the car feels just a bit nervous when you turn in, so you have to take a bit of speed out of it.
Braked a bit later now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, get off the brakes, go on. Carry 86, 85, 86, 79.
Oh, he's run wide,
No!
Unfortunately, going wide meant that run wouldn't count.
What's the verdict?
77.
77. Yeah, it's a little bit unstable. It doesn't, you know, on the way in when you turn, it does a bit of that, and then just it understeers.
Next up, the Audi, with Bruno behind the wheel.
And it's out of Murray's corner, on to Senna straight with Bruno Senna.
Nice exit out of the corner.
So you've got four-wheel drive, an extra 20 kilos of weight, you've got slightly narrower tyres. We're up to 118, brakes down to 79, 70, 76, 75, 75, 75.
That was too low.
You can do better?
I can do better.
Bruno needs to go 3 miles an hour faster to beat the Seat.
Can we stay on the track? 81, 78, 78, 78.
That was fast.
Yeah.
You've done it by 1 mile an hour.
Bruno looked much quicker from the outside, and it's what we said, but it was only 1K, so I couldn't believe how tight it is.
The car was turning nicely, and then the rear just got a bit loose. I was surprised that we got oversteer on the four-wheel drive S3, but I like it. I love it. I'm sorry, Karun.
80-something?
78.
Oh, 1 mile an hour.
I kept the foot in, and here it worked.
So far, so close. The four-wheel drive Audi is slightly more stable than the two-wheel drive Leon.
We swapped straight from Senna to Prost. Prost in the Renault. Front-wheel drive, but 150 kilograms lighter.
Sounds good, huh?
It's a noisy exhaust without any rear seats. It's very noisy in the back.
The vocal titanium exhaust isn't the only race-bred aspect of the car. It's also got track-focused tyres, which, when hot and sticky, should offer incredible grip.
5, 6, 111, hits the limiter.
Go on, spin.
90 down to 83, so 73, 72, 74.
That was very uneventful.
We were struggling a bit with tire temp, actually. I think the tire compound that we have on the Renault is very different.
It feels a bit nervous, the car.
It feels very nervous.
The tyres, the rear tyres especially, weren't warmed up, and the car stepped out of line. Come on, Nico. Can't let Senna beat you.
Looks quite committed on the way in. Whoa, bit of a wobble.
Second run again, it was all a bit wibbly-wobbly, didn't go any faster at all. You're still in trouble. So he did another lap of the circuit, weaving me around, warming up the rear tyres.
Yeah, I think these tires are very good, but they are quite hard, so they take time to warm up.
Yeah. Concentration's there. 113 on the limiter, on the brakes, he turns in.
Oh, he's gone
in.
Bit of oversteer, 78, 79. Yes, 78.
I think that looked good.
That looked good.
That looked good.
He's like, oh! Whoa! Well done, Nico. I thought the Renault was going to be out of the competition. You'd have been banned from France for the rest of your life. But you just got a 78. 78.
So no,
exactly the same.
So the same as Bruno, exactly.
Which means the Seat loses by just 1 mile an hour.
Amazing how close the three cars were. 78!
Oh!
But I can't go much quicker, to be honest. Otherwise, we end up in the cornfield.
So the race is between the Audi and the Renault?
Indeed.
Yes. Wow.
The Megane Trophy R was a hot tip from the start.
I'm betting on the French one.
With 275 horsepower, it is the least powerful car of our quartet, but at under 1,300 kilograms, it's easily the lightest. By comparison, the S3 is four-wheel drive and weighs 150 kilograms more, but has 25 more horsepower. The Audi's already surprised us. Can it do so again? A two-lap race will decide. It's time for Prost going head-to-head with Senna.
Nico's warming the tyres up.
Mr. Senna rolling up to the line.
Yeah.
This is big pressure now.
It was like a bit of a honor thing to try and beat Nico.
Me and Karun are sitting alongside to make sure there's no corner cutting. I know what these young drivers are like. They jump the curbs.
Honestly, I think going into it, we didn't know which was going to win.
I'll concentrate now.
Right, we got our launch sequence all lined up.
Yeah.
Senna versus Prost.
Oh, look at that! Yeah! Bye-bye!
Stick on him, Nico!
I thought that Bruno would pull away straight away because the four-wheel drive at the start.
Come on, come on, come on!
Whoa! Did I tell you I'm a terrible passenger?
Get on his tail!
But at turn 2, a tight hairpin, the Renault's sharper brakes see it claw its way back.
Oh, we're overshooting a little bit.
Oh, look at the rear end is coming.
That's mega. I love the way the rear end just keeps up with you, doesn't it?
Come on, come on.
Just come. Oh, but he's close.
Oh, he's close.
How are you feeling? Can you get him? Can you get him?
Yeah, we're getting him.
We had to actually just slipstream down the straight on the first lap.
Oh, it's slipstreaming me. Come on, come on.
He's weaving.
I'm going to block him. I don't care.
Cheating, flying down the outside.
Oh, he's passing. What the hell, man? He's got a good slipstream there.
No, it's a good slipstream there. It's a good slipstream. Whoa!
Oh, well, we had a few moments under the bridge. I forgot to brake. Come on. Where we were like really close.
Go through, go through, go through.
Oh my God.
With the cars evenly matched, Nico makes a do-or-die lunge to take the lead.
He's going for it.
And with the Renault's tyres warming up, I'm hoping we can pull away during lap 2.
They say it's quicker up the pit wall.
Yeah, I think he's going to be quicker than us.
But again, the Audi's greater traction and power give it an advantage.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, Nico.
Nice, 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 nice,
Go,
nice,
go,
nice.
go, 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 go.
Nice, 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 nice.
No, outbrake him, do something brave.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Knock him off. That's what Senna and Prost used to do, knock each other off.
Oh, I'm already a bit wide. Oh, I didn't get this really right, did I?
We're going for it. Up the inside.
He's going back at me, though.
Oh, this is Suzuka all over again. Block him off the road.
My car was much better on the braking because a bit less weight and probably different suspension.
No. Too much.
The four-wheel drive of the Audi really helps on traction and acceleration.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do something more.
This time I'm going to brake really late. I don't care. I don't care. He's not going to pass me. No chance.
Well, look in front. Stop looking behind.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah.
Nico, you've only got 2 corners left. The sort Senna out for the honour of Prost. He's made a mess. Do you have a plan? I hope you have a plan.
I'm going outside, like,
Whoa, cold. Oh, he's on the outside, he's on the outside.
You'll have to dive from him now. There's only one option. You have to go through now.
No way, he's not gonna go in there. Oh, he's coming!
Oh, he's coming!
Oh, crap!
Block him, put him on the dirt, do something dirty, I don't know.
I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're crazy.
Go! Gun it, go! Weave or something.
Oh, yeah, come on.
And then we just had a nice drag race all the way to the line.
Left block. Move over, go on, have him off the road.
Go.
No! And Prost wins. Oh.
In the end, it's we're friends rather than keep the family animosity that was there before.
That's not right.
So close. That was much closer than I thought it was going to be.
that was the most difficult race I've ever had. I think we're way past what happened almost 30 years ago, and it was racing, and I get along super well with Bruno, and it's really nice to have him as a friend.
Oh, man. Can't believe we lost by half a car.
Like half a car length.
Sitting alongside Prost and Senna has been a massive privilege, and the result couldn't have been closer. The Audi S3's acceleration and grip are incredible, but it can't quite match the Megane's braking and cornering ability. The competition is closing in, but our favourite hot hatch is still the Renault.
We'll finish with a team test from 2018. It's another fast Ford, but would it be as impressive as the Focus RS? So today, the team tested the Ford Fiesta ST. The last Fiesta ST, which came out in 2012, was highly acclaimed for its handling. So can the latest one match up or possibly be even better? Prices start at £19,245, but we're driving their mid-spec ST2 version, which costs £1,000 more.
So, Ford Fiesta ST wasn't quite as exciting to look at as I hoped for.
This has gone quite mature.
It's a clean, well-appointed, not too leery-looking car.
I think it's a bit of class.
Right.
Because they've lost a cylinder.
What?
Now 3 cylinders.
Oh, this is the 3-cylinder, I forgot, yeah.
But not only does it only have 3 cylinders, but it'll actually run on 2.
Yes, you heard that correctly. When the car is being driven on a light throttle, it will actually run on 2 cylinders, further improving fuel consumption.
But it's the same power as the 4-cylinder outgoing model.
Problem with downsizing engines is sometimes you take out the excitement in the quest for economy. Well, the great thing about this is if this car is as much fun as the last car and it does like 10 more mpg.
Yeah.
Happy
Rock
days,
and roll.
right? Normally, when you're sat in the back of a car that size, that's 3-door, and you're 6'3", it's an issue. Even 3-door.
What's it like in there? Hot.
It's all
getting
right.
hot in here.
Oh!
Wow. Have you got enough room?
Yeah, I got an inch
Wow.
before my knee touches anything. Tiff's got loads.
This car really has got some quality little touches. The chalk striping, just little things, it all comes together.
Racetrack use only. There you go.
Sounds quite good, eh?
The only problem sitting in the back was Jason was driving.
He immediately, you saw his eyes widen, he was like, I know this is going to be an exciting car.
Oh, did you feel the rear just having a little bit of a... It's got engineered in.
How's the steer? Oversteer.
It's got a good feel.
The steering is nicely weighted, the driving position's good, the seats hug you well.
We did soon find a small problem with the Fiesta.
None of us have got grab handles. None of us.
Corners, me and Johnny. I would be out the back now.
What are you getting out for?
We've got no doors. There's no escape hatches in the back. I'd had enough.
With the loose deadweight thrown out, I could really show Jimmy what the car could do.
It's got some get up and go, it's a bit go-kart-like. And that's what you want in a fun little hot hatch. Great fun. I can't believe it's a 1500cc engine.
It's going like something with a lot more of an engine. It's got the power when you need it. It's got the economy when you need it. This thing works. If a sporty little car like this is going to be sporty, you should be able to push it to a limit of discomfort. That's what I always think. If you can't push something that far, then it's a bit mediocre. All the way, all the way, all the way. I found that out.
What was that? Hey? Shut your face. Get out of the car if you're not going to vomit, are you?
I just,
Is that a sick burp?
re-swallowed some Jaffa cake.
Oh. So the chuckable little Fiesta had proved chuckable in other ways. Scores, please.
The little Fiesta ST didn't disappoint. It gets a 9.
So I'm giving it a 9.
Well done, Ford. I'm going to give it this. 8.5.
I loved it, and I'm going to give it an 8. Which gives the Fiesta ST a team test score of 34.5 out of 40, the highest in the series so far.